I said, hey, yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Maharos, and we're back with another video. Hope you guys are doing well. The weekly closes across the board have been monstrous. It's very exciting to be in this market right now. And also, you should be thinking about your exit strategy, right? So it sounds crazy to say, but yes, I know that everyone's excited, but you should be doing the complete opposite instead of being a pure moon boy. And I'm going to be breaking that down in this video, but of course, right now, taking a look at BTC. Absolutely beautiful weekly candle close. We see a very good move, pretty much closing above this pivot over here. And the question really is, how long does this sustain for? That's going to be something to watch out for. At the same time, I don't really care too much about Bitcoin simply because I'm mostly interested in the altcoin market, right? Now, if you were to long Bitcoin here, what are you really targeting, right? I mean, 68K, what is that, right? I mean, you got to look at this and say, do you want to go for a 28% gain, 33% gain? I mean, there's so much more opportunities out there. Personally, that's not what I'm looking to do. I just like to use Bitcoin to gauge the market, where is sentiment at, and see whether or not it's really ideal to kind of like go into alts, maybe look at being more into Bitcoin and just kind of using it to gauge the rest of the market. Because again, looking at BTC right now, this is stronger than I thought, honestly speaking, this trend. But at the same time, it's not really shocking simply because we are in a retracement right now to the upside here. Should this go back above all-time highs, as long as ETH BTC looks the way it is right here, I mean, this is extremely bullish, right? For altcoins, okay? So I don't really care too much about Bitcoin. I mean, we talked about buying down here at around 17K. It's posted on my Twitter. I've spoken about it many times. But looking at this move off of this low, right? I mean, this looks like a clear, um, you know, 5 waves up here before we get a bigger correction, or we'll see how far this goes up. But you guys already know that if this is a true retracement, then I don't know, but it's very possible that the party stops right there, right? And we'll probably get some type of retest back here eventually. And again, I don't want to be a party pooper, but even over here, this is another ideal area that may bounce off of, simply because, again, whenever a range happens, there's always some sort of retest on that level to continue going to the upside, like we've seen time and time again across many altcoins. So again, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, that's fine. Look at every situation and try to use it to your advantage, because, if we start seeing some type of choppy price action like we saw over here in the 2021 alt season, then, you want to start looking right here and say, if this continues to chop, then guess what? That's probably a sign that we're in alt season and I should start considering to take profits, or at least, be aware and conscious that this may be ending soon, right? Because again, all of our strategies are different. I'm sure all of us are still here to try to make money. And again, this is not financial advice, but looking at many indicators across the board, like even total two, it shows that there's still a lot of juice in this market, right? There's like still more room to go up to this level here. This is total two. Total itself is extremely bullish. I don't see why we can't get to 2.57 trillion. Another chart that I've shared on my Twitter very, very frequently. And I actually shared it way back in August when everybody was extremely bearish. And I was just sitting there saying, we're going to consolidate. We're going higher. Lots of you guys are fudding, but it is what it is. Total three. Another chart that's very bullish. All coins are looking phenomenal right now. And honestly, this is the first leg of the market right now. We didn't even break past the previous all-time highs. And that's really the question. If BTC breaks past its previous all-time highs, this would be crazy, guys. The market will go absolutely, bananas. And I'm excited regardless, because I'm prepared for all situations. And that's kind of what I'm advising, is to be aware of the circumstance. Be aware that we are running into resistance here. Total is bullish. I think we go higher. BTC dominance, another chart that I continue to watch. We're at support, but RSI is looking very bearish. Do we get a rejection off of this EMA that I have drawn? I don't know, but again, I'm watching very closely because I'm looking at patterns like we've seen before. Alt season in 2021 was some sort of range that broke down, and right now what we see is some type of failure to break above the previous high, and we did make a low here. So do we make a new low? That will be the question of the day, and we'll see what happens in this coming week if we can get lower here. Because if we do, that will probably be your hint that we're going to start seeing, like the altcoin season roll out further and further. Now, again, AI and GameFi are the narratives right now, and a lot of people are rotating out of stables into crypto. As you can see, this is the chart I've shared many, many times. And this worked out perfectly, guys. This is pretty much all three stable coins summed up together. And anytime this goes up, guys, the market usually corrects. And anytime it's going down, pretty much the market is dumping, right? So right now is a clear indication that altcoins are in crypto itself is in favor of going up. And I do think this continues to drop. Should it drop lower, that'll be even better. But we'll see how this plays out. But so long as it's going down, guys, I don't see any red flags. I just see more reasons to keep buying the pullbacks, as well as just seeing Ethereum BTC looking extremely bullish, right? So this is, again, very, very important to continue to monitor. Ethereum itself is also very bullish. I think there's no reason that this isn't going to 3,500. Something I've been talking about time and time again on Twitter. Something I've been talking time and time again about on here with you guys. So I'm going to continue to monitor this. I'm going to keep seeing how this price action plays out, because right now these weekly candles look absolutely explosive. So I don't see why one would be absolutely bearish at all here, right? You got to kind of be foolish. We've literally called this whole move before it happened. So, not to my own horn, but again, it's very important that you look at why I said it when it happened, before it happened, right? Like in hindsight, 2020, like, oh yes, we're here now, we're at 3K, but guess what? A lot of people didn't even think it would be possible when we were sitting back down here at 1100, 800. And it is what it is, right? This is kind of the name of the game. You kind of got to capitalize when people are kind of scared and worried about what's going to happen. So we're going to continue to monitor this. We're going to continue to see how this plays out. But at the same time, it's going to be lots of fun. And, just pretty much have an exit strategy planned. Another thing I want to talk about is the DXY. So right now, as you can see, I had this actually drawn from last week. It's actually playing out perfectly. I would love to see a retracement here. If we make a new low, that is very bullish for crypto. But if it does not, that is a warning sign that pretty much is probably going to gear up to go higher. And that's actually going to be a bad thing for crypto. Usually when this goes on a rampage, you can see here at May 2021 is pretty much when the alt season ended. And then guess what? Leading this whole rally up, that was a bear market for crypto. So what we want to see is probably another drop here. This probably goes sideways, maybe down till May, consolidates here for a bit till July, maybe. And then it starts running up to the upside, where probably the bear market probably starts, right? So I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but that's just, hypothetically speaking, this is why I like to do weekly updates. I do this for myself because I just want to make sure that I have a level head when I'm looking at these charts, and also make sure that, hey, listen, I understand that these things are not going to play out in a straight line. Things can change weekly. Geopolitical events can take place. A lot of things in the macro are affecting prices. So we don't know what could happen, but looking at this stuff week to week, staying grounded and not having a bias is extremely important, because it helped me build a case for what I think may happen or may not happen. As well as like seeing gold drop recently, it hinted that, we may see the stock market continue rallying, right? Because they don't work together, right? Like gold never goes up with the stock market, right? There's usually playing opposites. And so, we'll see exactly what happens here. This is continuing to consolidate. We did see a big sell-off recently, but right now it looks fairly decent. No real opinion on that. The final thing is going to be the S&P, right? So I do think a retest may take place at this level, or it may not. We'll see exactly how that plays out, but, we'll see what happens. Maybe it continues to consolidate at this level. Maybe it just tumbles right now. Who knows? But one thing I am worried about is, the same fractal we saw for BTC back in 2021, where we had the high, new high broke above it, and then guess what? The price just fell. So that's what it looks like right now to me, right? So again, we'll see how that plays out. And to be exact, this is your fractal that looks like S&P. But not trying to make anybody worried, but at the same time, while everyone is super bullish, everyone is screaming for all-time highs and all types of crazy shit, I'm for it. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm more bearish. I like to think that the worst is coming, because when it happens, if it happens, at least I was prepared. Not that I'm taking profits at this current time, but I do think it's important that I have exit strategy ahead of time rather than getting caught with the pants down, right? LOL. So last chart I want to share here is XRP. Can't let this one go, right? Because again, this is a chart that is continuing to catch my eye, because nothing in crypto has this much consolidation for this long. 2,240 fucking days of consolidation. And I think when it breaks out, if it breaks out the way I believe it will, it's going to be absolutely insane. A lot of people are not going to believe this rally when it happens, and it's going to be amazing, right? So we'll see what happens. Am very interested to know when this will happen, how it will happen, what will trigger it. But this would be a great place for XRP to continue running. And I said continue running is absolutely not running at all. This is a range. This is definitely not a trend. Right now, there are the smaller trends within this range because, of course, when price ranges, it just stays in between a level. And that level is literally between $3 and technically 15 cents. Or you can even say back here 12 cents, even though it wicked below. All it did is range in between it. That's all it did. Even though there are moments where we get big price fluctuations, this is a big ass range. And once this range breaks, the price will go crazy. So we shall see when that happens. And this will be very fun to see it actually explode. So we'll see, right? This is going to be something to continue to monitor because, again, Ripple just did acquire standard custody. They now have, I believe, 49 money transmitter licenses and 2 custodial platforms. And I don't know exactly what they're doing here, but guess what? Someone from the Ripple team is saying that they're going to start expanding in the US, and now they have 49 MTLs. I don't know what they're planning to do, but they have pretty much a lot of regulatory advantages in the United States despite the lawsuit. So we'll see what happens. And I'm excited to see what XRP is going to do, simply because there's a lot of hype around, what Ripple is doing and the current amendments on chain, the updates that took place recently. So all in all, it'll be fun. But when this breaks, it'll be very exciting because green, again, is our support level. As long as the price is holding in green, I don't care about this pattern, that pattern. This is your main level, okay? You could draw all the fancy patterns you want. This is your main level. As long as the price is holding above here, there's no reason to be scared, no reason to be worried, and that's pretty much as simple as that, right? I don't know why people like to overcomplicate the simple shit. So, yeah, with that, thanks guys for making it to the end. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, haru haru haru. Peace.